Hello students, this is Priyanka Bagchi from SVM Sinidih, and today I am going to discuss the third poem of the book Honeydew of class 8, and the name of the poem is Macavity the Mystery Cat. As you can see, the important things are given here, and this is about the brief description about the poet T.S. Eliot. The objectives are as follows: to enable the students to grow love for animals and pets. This is very important, to enable students to understand the emotions and feelings of their pets. So if you have pets, you must have love and benevolence for them, I'm sure. To enable students to share their personal experiences. If you have some kind of experience, you too must share with your friends. And to enable students to use new words and phrases in their own language. These are the general objectives of this poem. Now coming to the chapter, and this is the poem itself. Today first I will read the line by line poem and then explain stanza wise. So today I will do the first two stanzas of this poem. First I will read the line by line poem and then I will explain. So as the poem starts, the first stanza: Macavity is a mystery cat, he is called the hidden paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. This is the first stanza, and let me explain. So, Macavity is the mystery cat, and it is a short and simple poem written by a great poet, T.S. Eliot. The poet described the cat in a mock heroic way. So the term mock heroic way means that the poet gave a heroic characteristics to a very simple animal, cat. So that's why the term used here, mock heroic. Actually, Macavity was the poet's own tame cat. The poet called it a mischievous but clever tame cat. It knew 1,001 tricks to commit a crime. It committed many crimes and fled from the spot. The poem is light in tone and very humorous in nature. So light in tone means to say, as I said before, that it is a very simple poem and humorous, because the term used by the poet, that mock heroic for a simple cat, that's why. In the first stanza, the poet says that Macavity is a mystery cat and is known by the name of hidden paw. So means whenever it would do any crime, it would never leave any sign of his crime. He got the name Hidden Paw because he was the master criminal and he could defy and disobey any law and rules made by humans. He was the confusion and frustration for the Scotland Yard and pain of the flying squad. This is a branch. Scotland Yard and flying squad, the two very great words are used in this poem, and I would like to explain why these words are used here. So this is a branch of the serious and organized crime command in London Police Service. The squad's purpose is to investigate robberies. In fact, he had made the police of Scotland confused because when the police reached the scene of crime, Macavity vanished from there. Macavity was too clever to be caught by anyone. He had become the reason of failure and hopelessness for the police agencies. He was too clever to leave evidence of his guilt. He was a puzzle for even the Scotland Yard and flying squad, who are specialized in investigating crime. So that's why the word used here for the police force, the word used here Scotland Yard, because they are specialized in these cases. But even them also the mystery cat Macavity puzzled. Okay, now coming to the next stanza. Macavity, Macavity, there is no like Macavity. He's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. It is said, means explanation to the second stanza, it is said about Macavity that he was unparalleled. There was no one like him. He was found nowhere after his crime because it was very difficult to meet a master villain like Macavity anywhere, and then there was no one who had ever met with Macavity. Macavity was an exceptional cat in the whole world. According to the law of gravity, every object is, if you must have read these things in science, people, that according to the law of gravity, every object is pulled down to the earth's surface. But in the case of Macavity, being exceptional, he never came down once he escaped from the scene of crime. That means he had broken the law of gravity too. He was so powerful. Then there is a description of his power of levitation. So, to speak about levitation, levitation is the power to float or fly in the air. Generally, it is seen that a fakir, as the term used by the poet or a magician, is endowed with a number of magical powers and skills. But in case of Macavity, the fakir was also puzzled. He was also not able to tame Macavity, who alone had ability, the Macavity cat, he alone had the ability to practice the power of levitation. The poet here described Macavity as an underworld don because of his outwitting power. Once people would see him in the basement, and another point of time they would be able to see him floating in the air. But the poet said if it repeatedly that whenever the crime would be done, no one would get any access of Macavity. So this much for today, people. The second stanza is also done, and next day I will come back with the next stanza wise explanation. Till then, goodbye.